Since I'm the only person watching it anyway, here's what happened on C-SPAN today. Today on C-SPAN, outgoing Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta gave a speech at Georgetown University about military leadership, not failing to mention the fact that the federal budget sequester will severely impact his defense budget. The defense budget, which makes up almost 60%, maybe more than 60% of our budget, and is not constitutionally mandated to be any part of our budget at all. And I spent all morning yelling at the computer. Let's cut to that.
I know the political system now is immersed in sound bites.
And money.
They're immersed in money.
Yep.
They're trying to raise money for elections. I looked at one example in a recent article where a campaign group was talking to new members of Congress. And they suggested that for a typical member, 4 to 5 hours of their day should be spent calling prospective donors, with only 3 to 4 hours spent conducting the business of the people.
On that note, I wanted to point out that it's Wednesday, and this morning, the House has adjourned until next week. I am so sick of them going out of town. Go across the street to that building where they call donors and beg for money. This whole thing has to stop. You cannot expect Congress to just repair itself if this is a trap that each congressperson is put into. Anyway, back to Leon.
It's no wonder that members of Congress don't get to know each other, don't develop trust in each other, and as a result don't work together.
Or at all. There is someone in this room who stood up and asked the exact question that I wanted to ask. Let's go to him because I love this guy.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary. First of all, I want to thank you for your lifetime of service and leadership.
Thank you.
My name is Hussein Sonko. I'm a second year. I'm also a Army veteran and currently a member of the Maryland Air National Guard. On average, members of the military commit suicide at the rate of 22 deaths per day, which is about one death every 65 minutes. I would like to know what can the Department of Defense and our lawmakers do to effectively address that crisis.
Leon Panetta doesn't want to answer that question because right now he's making his case to keep the trillions of dollars that we put in defense every year. And when we realize that a lot of that money is going to send soldiers into a war that they don't really understand, a lot of them come home with mentally crippling disabilities. Because a lot of people do not have the instinct to shoot someone because you're told to. A lot of them come back and they're completely against the war. They get really depressed about it. What is Leon Panetta going to say when he's trying to argue for the ability to send more and more people into war, potentially causing these problems to arise even further? Let's hear.
It is one of the most tragic issues that we deal with right now in the military is the growing rate of suicides that are taking place. And in some ways, it reflects the growth of suicide in the general society. I think there also is kind of I guess I say this in part as a Catholic, but the fact is that people somehow don't associate with suicides as being the wrong way to deal with a problem. I mean,
that was Leon Panetta's answer. Basically, I'm Catholic, and I learned that was wrong. Anyway, back to Leon.
We treasure those who are willing to put their life on the line. We are not going to take them for granted. That's a message we have to get to them.
That's a message that's going to be really hard to prove. We can't be in a war for 10 years and expect something like this to be an abnormality.
For those of you that have ever seen Blazing Saddles, it's the scene of the sheriff putting the gun to his head in order to try to establish law and order. That's sequestration.